Women should be farmed for their milk.
Hello and welcome to Let's Replay. Today I'm joined by Alasdair Beckett-King. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, award-winning stand-up comedian and former Let's Replay guest. We did Monkey Island last time, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
And Tim Schafer watched it and he said you looked a bit like Jesus.
Yes, he did. It was a fine observation.
Yeah, bet you've never heard that before.
No, it was. That is the nicest occurrence of anyone spotting that I look like a ginger Jesus.
Yeah, it's a bit like the time Johnny Rotten called Ollie Welsh a
Mm.
Good. So what are we playing today?
We're playing Abe's Oddysee. Well, I'm playing Abe's Oddysee, and you're watching and marvelling at my.
Marvelling.
I was going to say skill,
we'll
and then I ran
goes.
into a wall.
Yeah.
So let's just see how it goes.
Yeah.
Which is a platform game in the vein of, I suppose, Pitfall and Prince of Persia from 1997.
But the storyline is a bit different for this one, isn't it? This is a
Yes. I play Abe, a slightly accident-prone factory worker who discovers that in the factory of Rupture Farms, who discovers that the horrible bosses are planning to turn him and his fellow slaves into food. And so he has to try and escape, and he also has to, in the process of doing that, rescue all of his friends. So that's one of my friends. I'm about to point. I don't think the pointing will work. That's one of my friends on the bottom level there.
So it's sort of unofficially the video game tie-in for Soylent Green, you could say.
Yes, it's very, very like that, but without Charlton Heston. This is Charlton Heston, isn't it?
Yeah. I've probably just ruined Soylent Green for anyone who's never seen.
I mean, I've never seen it, but everybody knows the ending of Soylent Green. Incidentally, also Citizen Kane, it was the sled from the start.
Yeah.
Just in case anybody's not clear on that.
Just to be clear. Good. Well, I'm glad we've ruined cinema.
Should we do any others, or should we get back to the?
I think no. You know the Sixth Sense. No, you're right. just leave it there. And obviously we've got this 2D left to right thing. Now you like one
this
of these
2D left to right
this 2D
thing.
left to right.
Yeah, this game
on.
invented that.
Yeah,
it is just a side-scrolling 2D game.
But I mean, are you one of these old fogies who kind of thinks, actually, do you know what? I liked it better. I don't like the third dimension. I feel like it overcomplicates
I
things.
only find it frightens and confuses me. The third dimension. I think it's unnecessary. It's like sound in movies. It's a fad that will pass. I don't think we need it. No, I'm not really. And in fact, they're currently, I think, working on a remake of this, which will be 2.5D. So it's going to maintain the beep beep beep. It will maintain the side-scrolling, but will actually be in 3D with a moving camera.
Well, isn't 2.5D usually just though that there's a ledge that's a bit further back?
Yes, but it'll be using 3D technology to render a game which plays as a 2D platform, or at least that's what it looks like on the preview that I saw. Sorry, I need to watch this to count.
A very tense moment.
There we go.
There we go. You've done this before.
But yeah, that huge explosion of the body shows the sort of the weird quality the game has, because it's sort of, it could be a Marxist parable about factory workers, or it could be an environmental game about the use of resources, but it is also a game which is full of grotesque cartoon violence, and you can hypnotise your own farts in the second one.
Well, which is a key tenet of Das Kapital.
Yeah, exactly.
That's chapter 4. That one, how to do that. Yeah, I don't know. I always had Marx down as more of a sort of Mario guy.
Mario.
Well, working man, isn't it?
He's a plumber. Yeah, exactly. Not like the decadent bourgeois Sonic. What's weird about the game is that it's sort of, I was going to say pacifistic. It's not exactly a pacifistic game, but you have no kind of weapons, so or means of defence. So those guys with the guns, if they'd seen me, they would have shot me, and I would have just died, or I would have had to run away from them. But at the same time, I have the ability to possess them and to communicate with my friends and operate machines, and I have to try not to be killed, and I have to try and rescue my friends. So you can see
that's a big to-do list.
There are 99 employees, currently no casualties and no escapees, and in the course of the game, if I don't rescue enough of my friends, I will get into trouble. But the whole game takes place in flashback. So after rescuing however many of your friends you rescue, Abe finds himself captured. And that means that there are no lives. You can't die because you know that Abe gets to the end of his adventure one way or the other. And that's quite nice. I remember when I first played this back in the olden days of 1997, I thought that was quite revolutionary, because you realise that actually having lives is something that makes sense with like arcade games, but it doesn't make any sense for a game that you own to have lives.
Yeah.
It isn't necessary at all for the game to be challenging.
So yeah, was it the best Christmas ever when you got this game?
Yeah, it was. I would like to say that my parents were splitting up and it was the only thing that held me together, but
Is that true?
no, it was fine. My parents, nice middle class, comfortable family, so actually everything was fine. But this added to that, if anything, so it was just even better.
Oh come on, you must have. So God, I remember like trying to get through this level and it was really hard, but my mum had the archers turned up really loud and it was really distracting. There must be some sort of dark story.
Well, I would like to say that it helped me through something, or that, you know, I was bullied a lot as a kid and this game helped, but if anything it hindered it, because me and my other bullied friends just made a website full of animated GIFs of this game, which didn't really diminish the bullying in any way.
That's the thing about video games. They bring people who were bullied together.
Yeah.
It's a lot like stand-up comedy in that respect.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do occasionally, oh, come on, I was in the shadows. You do very occasionally see sort of good-looking, handsome, confident people doing stand-up. And maybe even playing video games. And you sort of think, what's in it for you? What's
There must
going
be something
on?
wrong with them. There's something dark under the surface.
It's sort of cheating, I think.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was very bad.
Because you were not a fan of the remakes of Monkey Island.
I think I mentioned that.
Yeah.
That they were the worst crime committed by humanity.
Yeah.
And some of the commenters disagreed. But I was disappointed because I thought I was being quite radical. I was disappointed that ideally all of them would have been furious with me.
Well,
there wasn't the level of.
That's it. I keep
fury that
trying to
was hoping
generate
for. I wanted
debate
fury.
with these videos, but
So I was thinking of just including some of my other outrageous opinions, but none of them
go
are
on.
video games related. Women should be farmed for their milk.
that's hey.
Ah, I got shot again.
I've got a small child. I feel like that's actually happening now.
Well,
so-
exactly, yeah. But if you could make a little money on the side, or
Yeah.
any mother could, I mean, really, I'm liberating women for their profit-making
That's
capacities.
it. I heard that Alex James on his cheese farm, he's actually got 4 of them chained up in his garage.
Yeah,
just,
that's actually true.
Yeah, just making him mini baby bells. See, I'm a big fan of 2D platformers. I find 3D, it's all a bit. God, I sound like I'm 89. I found it all a bit. Sometimes I don't like Mario 64, for example. That ruined the whole thing for me.
Mario 64. I mean, it's a very ugly game. I can't remember how to throw. I was about to ask the audience. I've just dropped the bomb. Have I?
Yeah, if anyone would like to write in and explain, we'll just wait here.
I forgot that I wasn't on stage for a moment playing a video game. I thought, does anybody remember? Hey, where are you guys from?
Well, there we go.
All right, stand in front of... And actually, an in-game guide to how to play a game was quite new, I think, back then. I seem to remember older games just expected you to read the manual in full.
What's a
absorb
manual?
all of it.
Like all the people under 30 watching this go, what's a manual? What's that? You don't need a manual.
A
to
manual.
play a game.
I don't play games to read books, says the
No.
contemporary gamer. Well, you had to in the olden days.
I used to write manuals actually, but before I used to love manuals because my favourite bit though was the notes bit at the back. Do you remember where?
Yeah, I never ever used because I wanted to keep the manual pristine in every case.
But I liked it was there in case you were like in the middle of Bubsy and you suddenly thought, God, I must make a note of how many coconuts have just fallen off that tree. So what level is this we're playing now?
We're now in Scrabania, so Abe, having escaped Rupture Farms, has to go out into the wilderness in a sort of biblical manner in order to gain special abilities in order to come back and free all of the people in Rupture Farms. So they have to learn about the natural world which is being pillaged by the villains who set up the factory.
Again, very strong political.
Exactly, yeah. It's a profound game in many ways.
For the final boss level, do you have to kill Nigel Farage in the remake? I think that would be a
shocking.
good...
Yeah, exactly. That's good. This game failed to predict the existence of Nigel Farage. Even though logic
Who could have predicted
logic
it, to be
dictates
fair?
he must have existed in some way in 1997. That's very unfair. No, it isn't.
I don't know. I feel like he burst out of a pod or something about 3 years ago. It's all a bit mysterious.
He merged like was it System in Bill and Ted from two smaller racists.
Yeah. A lot of it about. But this game was a hit sort of around the world, wasn't it?
Yes. Back in '97, it was released in America and Europe. and Japan under the name Abe A Go-Go.
Oh, that's a better name.
It is in one sense a better name, but in reality it's an absolutely terrible name for anything.
Well, but as someone who writes about games and has sort of for every 2 years for about the last 10 years had to look up how to spell Oddysee in the funny, silly, made-up way,
Yes.
I could get on with Abe A Go-Go.
Abe A Go-Go. It sort of suggests if you think you've had an appropriate amount of Abe, this is going to be way more Abe than the amount that you have previously had. But they changed it. People like me who are very old now and remember the original game remember that there's a lot of plot points around Abe's hand, because the moon in this game has the same shape as Abe's hand, which looked like that. In this game, and then in all subsequent games and later versions of this game, I can't walk and do a hand mime, he has only 2 fingers and a thumb.
Right.
And that was a source of great mystery for me. And then I looked it up on the internet and found what might be an explanation. That bat keeps killing me.
Is that the explanation? I don't really follow the logic.
Broke out of the game and ate Abe's finger. But apparently the reason is that there is a subculture within Japan, who I now realise, having done the hand gesture, I will have offended.
Right.
A subculture within Japan for whom the 3-finger gesture, that one there, is deeply offensive. If the hand gesture that I just did is deeply offensive, and so in order to not offend the nice people in Japan, they just took a finger away.
Oh, really? God, so it's almost a shame. There's no mysteries anymore, you see. That's
the internet has an end to mystery. Except that I suppose it's created its own mystery by being full of lies. So that might not even be true.
Yeah. Do you know what? This is making my head spin. I think we should end it here.
Okay.
Just have some more tea. All right. Well, thank you very much for playing.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Bye. And is he? Since we've said it, is he?
Well, we were at a Guitar Hero event, and Johnny Rotten was taking questions from the journalists in the audience, and it was when he was doing the butter adverts.
Oh yeah, they were great. That's my favourite of his work. That's what I like the best. I don't really like punk music. But
yeah, no. But the butter stuff was great, and the Guitar Hero promo, obviously.
Yeah.
So Ollie Welsh said to him, what do you think your 17-year-old self would think of you now? And Johnny Rotten just looked down at him from the stage and went, "You middle class c***." And Ollie said it was the best day of his life. So there you are.